Gabe Cymbalista, and here is my friend Jen Feldy. Hold on one moment. Here we go. Here we go, Jenny. We are live. Yeah, you could. You could put the stage. You don't have to hold the mic the whole time.
No, I like to hold the mic because I like to hold it.
You're a little.
It feels
loud.
good. I like to have it in my hands.
Okay, you're good. You're a little loud, but you're good.
I'm a little loud still.
No, but you're good. I think
I'll lower it. Hold on.
little
You
bit.
tell me. How about this? Is this a little better? Is this a little
That's
better?
good. That's good. That's good.
That's good. All right, cool.
Yeah. Oh.
We want to be good.
Yeah, there you go.
I think
great. It's that distance that really gives us the clear. Don't worry about your bangs. It's all good.
Yeah.
Right. We don't have to be perfectionists.
Could you talk a little louder though, sweetheart? Because even though I'm a little loud, you're not.
I'm a little soft. Ooh.
Yeah, you're a little soft.
Let me. Am I a little better now?
You sound great. You sound perfect. I feel
amazing, sweetheart. Okay. So we are live. This is okay, everyone. Let me give a little backstory. This is my friend Jenny. We actually met through an old friend of mine at a fashion show where my friend Amelia was a host and my friend Jenny was another host. They were co-hosts at a fashion show I went to 7 years ago, or 8 years ago. I think it was 7 years ago, 2014, I believe, in March. Hey, Sean, how you doing, man?
What's up, Sean?
So my friend Jenny, you did some horror films. You had shot some horror films already back then.
Not much.
Well, not much, but you had already been in some. You've done the Lake Ronkonkoma. I think you had already shot the Lake Ronkonkoma one, I believe.
That was 2013, 2014. So no.
So we met into the 2014. So you had
there was no films There was no films.
It was just one. It was just one. But what else do you do in addition to acting? You do health. You are here. Please tell us. You're a model.
So for 8 years full time, I did health counseling and training. Just everything was health, but I always did something entertainment wise. I taught warm-ups for Avon and Scope It Out 5K and some music videos, like some light entertainment stuff, some hosting here and there. But really, life was full-time health and fitness from 2009 to 2012, full-time. And that's what I'll tend to do. I'll do something full-time for like 2 years. Hold on one second. I'm just going to close this door. Hold on a second.
I'm moving my wires.
I'm distracted in this American house. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, no problem. We are holding on. We are standing by.
Okay. All right. Hey, guys.
There we go. Hey.
I'm back. I'm back, and now I'm focused.
So you were telling us about that you did full.
It was full-time health. That was life. Full-time health. Getting up 3-4 in the morning, training clients, working on the health guidebook, and now fast forward. Everything I do is part-time because I went through several phases of life where we do a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, full-time hair and makeup, full-time or major focus on production of shows or major focus on writing my health guidebook or major focus of fitness. And then everything's just part-time and doing everything I love. One day is this, one day is that, half a day is this, half a day is that. And life is fun. Comedy show, added stand-up this year. Movies, when we met, there were no films that I was in.
It was just one. It was
it wasn't even then.
Really?
Lake Ronkonkoma didn't start till 2015, 2016, my dear.
I thought it was 4. Okay.
No. There was just some silly, weird live event
Maybe I was your good luck charm. I don't know. By proxy, by association.
Well, sometimes people see things in us, I think, that we don't know is going to happen. They just see things. And I think that you see things about people, you see the abilities. So perhaps you just saw me acting way back then. Who knows, right?
Well, we all act out, that's for sure.
Some do. Some do more than others.
Yeah, well, I don't make that joke because you're a comedian. You now do comedy, so you have to act out a little bit.
I don't act out. I'm a perfect member of society. I'm never acting out. Everything I do is just go with the flow, go with the grain. Whatever Joe Biden tells me to do, that's what I do. America.
Sean asked stand-up. Awesome. Do you have a YouTube channel we can watch?
I do have a YouTube channel, and I have a Vimeo and an Instagram and a Twitter. And well, I just was found out. I just told I was very offensive today on Facebook. Someone said I was very offensive. So if you don't
So
like,
your day's work is done.
if you like Disney, you maybe don't watch my stuff because it's not exactly the Disney Channel over here.
Well, we could like variety. Can we not?
Yeah, you can like too, but if you like things that are rated G that are universally liked, like if you like people that everyone likes, like Mario Lopez, I don't think I'm a I don't think I'm that polarizing, but I don't think I'm a universally liked. I do go by the statement that anyone worth knowing is not universally liked.
I honestly think R is more universally liked than G by now. Even though I know there's a lot of you know short triggers with certain things, but I think like in the movie industry at least audiences prefer R over G. I don't think
Yeah.
there's maybe like been just a few G movies that have come out in like the last 10 years. I think PG is now the new G and R
Mm.
is now the new PG-13, and NC-7 and NC-17 isn't even X anymore. It's probably I don't know. No, I
Yeah,
know
I guess
Air
there's a lot of R-rated stuff that's pandering to, be watered down.
Hey, Airplane, it was rated PG in the 80s, and that had nudity. And
Interesting.
yeah, it had like a like a split second. My friend's father, my friend's father, my friend was watching, and his grandfather walked in, and he screamed, "Your son is watching pornography!" Literally, not even a full second of a flash of nudity, and the grandfather loses it. But he's from that time. No,
I
but
don't
yeah,
think nudity is offensive, but you know what? I don't think anything's there's like the only thing that I find offensive is people getting offended. And I was just sent the Seinfeld clip. It's the part when George's fiance dies, and they all just go, "Oh, let's get a cup of coffee," and they don't really care.
phased
And
by it.
all
Yeah.
the comments, people are really offended by their nonchalant response, and it's just like I'm offended by people getting offended. That's something that offends me.
I got you.
It does. It just I don't even know it offends me. It grosses me out. It makes me upset.
Yeah, it triggers you. No, I'm saying it's a pet peeve. It's what do you call it? It grinds your gears.
It grinds my gears. Yeah.
Grinds your gears. Hold on, Sean asks, what was your YouTube channel name?
Jenny Feldy. You can just look up
Jennifer.
everything. Jenny Feldy. It should come, and if it doesn't, you come correct. You come to me. I'll help you figure it out.
Yeah, you have two Instagram pages because you have a one is a Life with Energy, Jenny Feldy, and one
Right.
is more your production and other stuff, Jenny
Well, they're
Feldy.
both the same thing.
Yeah.
They're just backups because I feel like people get hacked.
Yes. Yes.
So I feel
You
like
do.
I tried to put things on backups, but I don't know. Hopefully, I don't get hacked. I know my website was hacked and taken down. I had one page that was how to cure different infections without antibiotics, and that particular was getting hacked for years, and now the whole
Yeah.
website's down.
Sorry.
So I don't know. I'll figure it out. Whatever.
Well,
It's all
I
right.
no, it's yeah. Listen, you've helped a lot of people, and I know you have a gym in the basement of your home where you work with
Yeah.
people, but not just for the sake of working out, but like you've wrote me a weight gaining diet,
Right.
and for me, eating healthier to gain weight is just as difficult for eat healthier to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
And like people tell me, oh, just eat Chinese food and chocolate all the time. I'm like, I'm eating healthier to
Chinese
gain
food and
weight.
chocolate.
Yeah, so they said, no, I'm trying to eat healthier to gain weight, not eating for the
Yeah,
sake of gaining
chocolate. I
weight.
had 3 pieces, like someone gave me these chocolate bomb things. You're supposed to put them in hot milk and then whatever, but I ate the pieces of chocolate. They're supposed to turn into hot chocolate, all 3 of them
It's
yesterday.
tempting. It's
And I'm
tempting.
noticeably bigger. Like my face is bigger, my butt is bigger. A video of my butt was just put on
I'm
Instagram. I did
sorry.
not know that.
I didn't know your butt could get any bigger. But take that as
Yeah. It got no, it got a lot smaller. Now it's going back.
Jenny doesn't get offended by much, but she
No.
does have her limits. I mean, she does have her. You want to be respectful, of course, to Jenny.
Yeah, I don't think offended. Yeah, also people come on podcasts and they just talk nonstop. Like I've interviewed people. I remember, I'm not going to say who it was, but on the radio show, I was like, you know what? I'm going to really spend hours reading this guy's book. Spent like 4 hours reading this whole comic book. He goes on the podcast. He just talks the whole time. I couldn't even ask him a question. Why did I prepare for this interview? Why did I sacrifice 4 hours of my day reading this book? I don't know. So, yeah, going on podcasts and just railroading 10 minutes of just blah, 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 that kills me.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's often phone calls with me, but you tell me you enjoy listening to me talk, but
Right.
I'm just kidding. No,
Well, actually, you know
we have
what?
we have very in-depth conversations,
We do.
it's interesting, like, like, I've had people in the film industry tell me, like, they look up to me, and they love they're inspired by me, and, like, and I'm blown away. Like, I have people tell me my statuses get them through the day, and sometimes I have political ones and other crazy ones, but it's not just you post a lot of stuff that some of it is controversial, but in a
Yeah,
good way. But also a
I'm
lot of
like
it
a
is like
troll. I mean, I'm just kind of trolling all
but
day.
you're also your own troll, and
Yeah,
it's almost like sometimes I don't know what what you mean and what you don't, and but
sure.
you're creative that way, but you also post a lot of stuff health wise, and you are very smart when it comes to you know nutrition,
Thank you.
and I've taken a lot of your advice on a lot of that stuff, and I'm although I'm struggling, it's not you, it's me. No, but really, it is. No, like, I have trouble maintaining weight.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, there's more.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, there's more. No, but you and I. So you actually hosted the Vault of Horror Film, or part of the Vault of Horror Film Festival. I know
Mm-hmm.
you've done it before, but this past year I was there, and you hosted the horror dating game,
Oh, yeah. That was
and
a horror show.
yeah, that was a horror show.
That
But
certainly
also, like,
was.
can I tell you something? Like, I give you a lot of credit because I think you were not fully dressed. I mean, like,
Ah,
you had like the fishnet and the stars. And can I
right.
tell you something? I did not see that coming.
I didn't really plan that until
But I
maybe
tell you
20
something.
before I walked out the house.
But
Yeah.
everybody was well, except for one guy. The place was very except for one guy. Majority of the place was like they were respectful. They didn't try to grab you. They were
No.
very civil, except for one guy who tried to kiss you. But let's not go into that.
Yeah, I've never really had anyone reach out, and it's interesting. I've brought different people to different shoots, and I have two friends. I'm not gonna say their names, but I've been told that I kind of have this like kind of leave you alone vibe, which I'm gonna have to say I think is true because these other people I
People
brought,
don't mess with you. People usually don't mess with
they'll get literally grabbed. And I brought one girl to a shoot. Two guys tried to kiss her. Some other guy said some lewd comments. I got hit on. Like someone very kindly offered to be my pool boy in a nice way, but no one really. People don't reach out and touch me or send me lewd photos. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's an air.
the Freddy Krueger dick pics. The burnt hot dog.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger dick pics. No, I don't know. I really don't. I don't really deal with like people being too aggressive with me in person.
But but also some of the people there stood up for you. Like when somebody bothers you, like everybody just like people
Yeah,
literally like advocate or ask, "Are you okay? Did he make you feel uncomfortable? Or did somebody,
yeah. We had a
you're
really nice supportive group.
yeah
It was really
and
nice.
you have good friends, and you know who your friends are. You
Yeah,
do.
I feel pretty protected. It's nice to have people
Yeah.
looking out.
I still have that machete I told you I'd give you if you ever need.
Yeah, that's pretty
I have
cool.
a spare machete.
I feel like maybe if I had a bad day there, I maybe I get really mad. Like when I rarely get mad, but when I do, I'm like, mm. So maybe I was like, maybe I shouldn't have the machete in my
Yeah,
presence. You know?
maybe I don't want you even practicing and accidentally throwing it and hitting the wrong person.
Yeah.
We don't want that. But couple of years ago, I was sitting on my computer and I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is Jen doing in in Lloyd's office at Trauma Films?
Hmm.
So tell us, how did you get into being taken into being adopted by the Trauma Film a couple of years? What was it, 2019? I think it was.
Probably. Yeah, it was 2019. Yeah. Um. I'm gonna blame Will Colazzo, a good blame, I guess. So Will Colazzo produced the Bloody Nun 1 and Bloody Nun 2. I was supposed to be in Amityville Thanksgiving, and I was sent a script, but then I logged on to Facebook and I see we wrapped the movie. Did I shoot my scenes? No.
And they even had you on IMDb for that. They have you on IMDb
For Amityville Thanksgiving? Oh,
yes.
that's funny, and I'd even shoot the scenes. So thank you, I guess. I don't know. It was almost like, you think you're in a relationship and then you log on and the person announces their wedding, and that's how I felt. I'm like, excuse me, what? So
Yes,
whatever.
Joe. Sorry, just yes, Joe. She is working with trauma.
Well, not
Oh,
not
not recently, but like you still.
well, not in the last couple of months. Yeah. But yeah, Will Colazzo, he produced Bloody on 1, Bloody on 2, and the Amityville Thanksgiving, and sent me a script. Which apparently I'm in it according to IMDb, or maybe I'm not. Whatever. It's all good. We love Will. And I had never heard of Trauma. And he saw some ad on Twitter that their Trauma's looking for people. He's like, oh, they would love you. You should go. You should apply to this. And I hate applying to stuff. I just like a sure thing. Just invite me or not. I don't want to apply. But he's like, apply. So I think I sent them the email, or I sent them a message. And Tom, who now just left Trauma, he literally just left like a couple of
Oh,
weeks or like
really?
a month ago. He was there for a couple of years and working his butt off there.
And
But
Gabe is still there. Gabe Ramiro.
I think so. Yeah, I think Gabe's there and Johnny Ferry there. He's great. So he had contacted me, this really polite guy. Like, it's funny because now I know Tom. We're friends now. He's a couple of years later, and he's this Asian guy who's covered in tattoos, and
He's a good guy. He's a good
he's a
guy.
great guy. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you might see him off the street as someone who doesn't, who makes preconceived notions. Like, who's this? He's probably the most polite point of contact, or one of the most I've ever dealt with, ever. So, and I can understand why Lloyd would pick him to be a main assistant for years, because the guy is so on top of things. He's so smart. He's so incisive. He gets things done. He's so hardworking. He works harder than almost anyone I know. But anyway, he contacted me and he invited me to the studio. I didn't know what trauma was, so I went there, and Tom is showing me YouTube videos of trauma while I'm there. I didn't know what it was. Okay, I'm like, cool, whatever, cool. We shot some things with Lloyd at the table. I didn't really know who Lloyd was, because this is what I do. I don't really do my research. I just do enough research to know if I'm interested or not. And then I'm like, all right, cool, I'm going to go or I'm not. And then after I get home, or days later, I say, okay, do I want to know about this person or this thing? And then I research it. So after we shot, I got a lot of messages on Facebook. Oh my God, like, Trauma's legendary. Oh, you were there. Holy crap. And I'm like, I guess I did something cool. I didn't know. And then I came to learn what trauma was, and
Yeah.
it's super cool.
And
Yeah.
I told you they got some big people there started in the film industry.
Yeah, I was clearly living under a rock. I mean, this is not, it's like, you just don't know. It's like not knowing about Mike Tyson. That's what not knowing about trauma is like. It's like, what?
Not well, only if you're a big movie like it's somebody who's been into the movie buff stuff, not just in the industry, like, but you still, like, you were only working in horror films for a few years. You didn't necessarily have to know trauma yet, but like
True.
I was attending horror conventions for years, watching horror films for years before I knew about trauma, and
Okay.
actually watched trauma films before I knew what trauma was. Like the Cannibals the musical, which was
Mm-hmm.
the South Park creators' first film, which they did through Trauma, and because they got I think it was through Trauma, they got them big, I believe, and actually the creators of South Park put like Easter eggs to Lloyd and Trauma and other ones of their films, even and James Gunn, who got big from Trauma. I always make that joke that not a joke. I think you're gonna if you stick with them, I think you're gonna be the future female James Gunn. I honestly would love to see that.
In like
And
what aspects?
I don't know. Listen, you're very creative. You're very motivated. You're
Thank
a
you.
hustler. You're always working. You're and like I'm lucky if I could get you on the phone when like I'm like, wow, she actually picked up like this. Like sometimes my first thing when I'm seeing how busy you are. But like
Yeah, I'm
I'm
always working on something. That's true. I'm usually stressed. I have to say, in the last 3 months, yeah, I'm always stressed about something, because I'm always working on something that I've never done before, or that no one's ever done before, or that I personally haven't done. And then I rest for like a day or two, and I think I'm gonna be free. And then I'm doing something again. Like I thought I was gonna be maybe kind of chilling or whatever for a week or two. I didn't really think that, but I'm like, oh, looks like I have some open weeks. And then I'm told, hey, can you do 30 minutes of stand up on Saturday? I've never done more than 11 or 12 minutes. So I'm making a 30-minute like stand up special for Saturday now.
And yeah, and I've been to
Yeah.
one of your stand-up shows. You've the Governor's Club in
Yeah,
where was that? Where was that? Remind me.
that was at Belmore, the one you were
Belmore.
at. Yeah,
Yeah,
Governor's Bell.
yeah. So what's it called? But you just recently shot a film with, or at least with Tom and Trauma and Gabe. Yeah, I saw something with what's it called? Like somebody's dick was like pulled out of his body or something. It was like a BTS thing in the marshes. You
Oh,
guys,
oh my God, I forgot. Yeah, everything's a blur. I was gonna print out my resume. Yeah, the Secret of Cuck Island. So that's a
such a
lot of guys
trauma
have
name.
worked with Trauma. I don't think it's coming out under Trauma label, but I bet you it's going to be on the Trauma Now app, probably.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be out till 2022, and that's Reeves, Elliot, and Sam. It's Tom. Tom worked on that too. So I'm just in a small part at the end in that one. We all went to a marsh and we played some FBI agents and cops, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. I think you see a full frontal and maybe full backle, full rear of I think it's James Boylan. I think he shows everything,
Well,
like
that's
everything.
trauma. That's trauma for you.
Yeah, and it's like
They have
wow.
no. I'm saying they not they have standards. I'm saying they have no limit. They will go over the top, and I love that about
I
Lloyd.
love that too.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Poultrygeist?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I tried
Uh,
to eat during it because I always watch TV while I'm eating,
oh
and I couldn't. And I'm like,
yeah.
wow, if this was playing all the time, I would just that would be my weight loss plan. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
probably
no,
I'm not gonna watch that movie till I put on another 30 pounds at least.
right.
Maybe I'll go 40
Yeah, appetite
because
suppressant. That blood-sucking freaks I could eat with a little bit. I mean, it's pretty gross, but something about the Poultrygeist, like the eggs, it was just really gross,
and
but
Jared
fun.
exploding or Jared melting on the toilet.
Yes.
The
Oh
overweight.
God, that yeah, no. I think I was trying to eat during those, and I'm just like, I can't. I
I think
no.
even the opening scene at the cemetery was even like without those scenes were just like so cheesy. The humor was so cheesy, like you don't want to eat while listening to certain humor. Like
That I've
it's
never
like
heard.
yeah, well, there. Listen, for me, you know, I'm very cheesy with and punny with my jokes. So when something's really over the top cheesy for me to digest something or consume something during it, it's really cheesy. But
Hmm. Yeah, terra firma, I feel like I could eat with. Blood-sucking freaks was pretty gross, but I could eat. But yeah, Poltergeist is a no-eating movie. Yeah.
yeah, didn't you shot a short or a promo with Toxie? And was
Yeah.
that the thing you told me you shot when you first met
I
Lloyd?
think we shot a few. Yeah, when
You
we
shot,
first met Lloyd, it was me and Toxie and Cindy Cologne and Lloyd and Tom and John were filming. And we did some promos for I think it was like Quentin Tarantino film commentary and some other films. I think actually Will Colazzo's I think his Faces of the Dead was we did a promo for, and I'm actually in that movie anyway in the intro. I don't know. Everything is just it just everything.
you've been in so much by now, you don't even know what you're in anymore. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I made a note to print out my resume so I'd have some talking points for you tonight, but I didn't print out my resume. I was like, let's just let Gabe leave. Let's let him lead the conversation.
No,
Yeah.
well, I want you to. I just want to say, my friend said, Sean said, good advice. Don't eat when watching when watching some trauma films.
Yeah.
I think that's that. You know what? That should be a disclaimer on their DVD. That
It
would
should
be a
just be
good.
a weight
That,
loss program.
yes,
The Trauma Now weight loss
you
program.
should pitch that to Lloyd, and they should actually, if they put that on the DVDs, that's like that's like great advertising.
Yeah.
That's like you
But
do
not for you.
not
You have to you wanna gain weight and they don't have
right. No, I'm saying,
so
but
for
for
you,
people.
you have to avoid trauma films.
No, I still watch them. Listen, I remember growing up, there was that borderline porno that they made with Carmen Electra, which I think they said they used a body double, but it was hard to believe. Get it?
Mhm.
Hard to believe.
Mhm.
Um, called The Chosen One. Not Chaim Potok's Jewish book, The Chosen One, but the one with the really risque one with Carmen Electra on from Trauma Films, which I watched before I knew what trauma was.
Oh, I have to see this. I like Carmen Electra. She's very
Yeah.
pretty.
You met her. You met her with your
No,
friend at one of those events. No, Christina Ricci. You
no.
met. No, Carmen Electra
Oh
was
yeah,
the
yeah.
event.
Carmen Electra was there, so
But you
she
didn't
was
meet her.
there at the HorrorCon, but you have to wait on lines, and I'm not big on waiting on lines. And
Yeah,
she was concealed in this booth, so you couldn't even see her.
yeah,
Whereas Christina Ricci was out in the open, and
yeah,
my friends wanted to do a meet
yeah.
and greet. Yeah.
Who doesn't want to meet? Who doesn't want to see Carmen Electra?
Yeah, I want to see her in person. She's
Yeah,
so I think she's so pretty. So I would love to see her in person
yeah.
and see how she behaves.
How's Christina Ricci?
You know what? I don't really talk to people much, especially if they're famous. I kind of leave them alone
Ah,
unless they talk to me. And if they start
right.
talking to me, then I'll talk to you. Like, you know, Marcus Levy and I, we met Tommy Wiseau, and I heard, he can kind of be iffy with crowds, maybe be litigious. So I was a little afraid to meet him, and I wanted to film things with him, but he didn't grab my hand, but I think he like held my hand, and he was like, "Ooh, I like your coat. Like that's a cool coat. I mean, who makes your coat or something?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, he's talking to me." Christine Ricci was very polite, very nice. We took a picture, but I leave people alone, and we didn't really get into it. I don't really recall. I don't remember, but she was very, very nice. Just doing her job. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
we
usually
didn't
like
have too much interaction
yeah,
on
like
set. If I'm on set with someone, I'll talk to them, but I
that's
don't
not
do the whole celebrity. I just kind of leave people alone. I don't know.
yeah, like these cons I go to, like they're not there. Some of them are much more formal than others. A lot of these celebrities are like very chill. Like the ones I know well, or ones I know, we'll hang, we'll chill, we'll get drinks, we'll hang out. They'll even let me hover over their table, like to hang with them. Some of them even ask me to sit with them
Hmm.
or to stand by, to stand by, or to just like love my company. But
Well, yeah, you're great company, and you're very
I
sweet,
appreciate that.
and you're very supportive, and you know a lot about the film industry. I mean, you're an encyclopedia of that, way
I'm a
more
walk
than me.
yeah, and yeah, or as my friends know, I would say encyclopedia because I love the Saw movies, but I love cinema in general, and, growing up watching these films and being friends with so many people who you grew up watching, who you like, they call you their friend, or they, like, feel like your family,
Hmm.
or they love hanging out with you, or they look up to you. So that's why it's always good to never burn your bridges, to always be and I want that for you, and you do a great job. Like you and the I know you've sometimes listen in working in any industry, you're always going to have like frustrating coworkers or
Hmm.
bosses' wives. I'm not going to get into that. We're like controlling, but like the kind of stress that's good as opposed to the everyday life stress. I think work stress is the stress I prefer, at least to an extent, over like personal stuff. I guess it'll vary depending on this work stress. Like
It depends. I
it
had I
depends.
had a salon job, and yeah, the wife would. I got a friend a position there. This is when I worked in salons for like a year after cosmetology. But I literally would be talking, and the boss's wife would. This is my head. She would stand right here and then face away, so her back would be just towards me, blocking whoever I'm speaking to, and she would just talk to everyone and just have her back to me, like pressed up against me, even pushing me sometimes. So
She would
that
purposely
type of work
instigate.
stress, no thanks. I mean, it was multiple times this happened. She just back up against me and have her back to me and start talking to other people and block me.
I don't.
It
I
was
don't like. I don't like
crazy.
to look for confrontation that way. Like I try. I try my best to avoid confrontation or instigation. Sometimes I'll post things that cause instigation, but like I don't like to
Yeah.
look for you know frustration and stress and conflict and in real life situations, especially work, and a lot of people abuse their seat at the table or their power, or like their ranking in the workplace, and It's frustrating, and luckily I haven't personally dealt with it in the workplace, but I've dealt with it in school years ago. But
Mm.
it's not a pleasant situation.
It's
And
interesting. I forget which psychologist, but there's a theory that certain people go with people, other people go towards people, and other people go against people. And it's interesting. Some people are just by nature just antagonistic. I like to go with people or towards people. I'm almost never like to go against people. Like sometimes I'll pretend to be like mean to my boyfriend. I'll like, and he's fallen for it a few times. So I'm like, wow, I guess I'm a decent actress. But I have to break character after like 4 seconds. I can't do it. I don't even like to be fake mean. It's just not fun for me.
yeah, it makes me think there's like a Judaic thing. Like there are good people who do bad here or there. There's bad people who do good here or there, and then there are people who don't know any better. And it's like, you know what? And but there's things about there's a guy in my neighborhood who was like a homeless guy who doesn't know
Mm.
any better, that he spews hate and and bad things about people, like is all that stuff. And but he's somebody who doesn't know any better. He's just off his rocker. And there's a local rabbi, who would stand there and listen to him, knowing that thing, that he doesn't know any better. So there's something in Judaism called lashon hara, that means like you should listen to people talk bad about other people.
Mm.
And he listened to him because he knows the guy doesn't know any better. So he listens to him because the guy doesn't express his hate and frustration and bad crap and shit to somebody who doesn't understand that the guy is sick in the head. So the rabbi stands there and listens to him, so the guy could let out his frustration to the rabbi, who understands that this guy doesn't know any better.
What's this called? Lashon hara?
Lashon hara.
Lashon hara, and
That's why I
that's that
say
you shouldn't listen to someone
listen
talk
listen to,
badly.
yeah, or talk badly about people. So in
Oh,
general,
okay.
but there's so many fine lines and extensions of how that what that is. And it's like religion. It's very complex. But
I like this.
I try to see good in people, even people who've done bad by me, because I don't like to look, or I don't like to search for bad in people. I see
Hmm.
bad in people, I don't search for it. But sometimes it's hard
I
not
do.
to see it. No, I know.
I do
But
because I want to know what I'm getting involved with,
you
whether
sometimes
it's
look at the worst case scenario
yeah, it's like
before
a
to be
lawyer. Like a
prepared.
lawyer is supposed to find out every single risk that you're going to get involved in, and that's also a producer should think like a lawyer. What can go wrong on set? What can go wrong with this actor? What can go wrong with this girlfriend, boyfriend, this comedy
There's
club,
a
and
term for that. Not risk, was it
risk
risk management?
assessment
Risk
analysis. Like
assessment,
that's the
yes.
Along Came Polly Ben Stiller character, which I totally relate to. So I will look for the worst in people. I said, what's the worst thing they can do? What do you think? Like, do they have evil in them? I'll think of horrible things. Really,
Well,
really.
I mean that in people I already know. Like, I'll acknowledge wrongdoing and wrong and frustration and but I won't magnify. I try not to magnify it, and if I do, I still don't dismiss the good entirely.
Well, yeah.
The bad will bother me,
Oh,
but the good.
yes.
Oh, is this your steak?
Yeah. Yeah. Can I have a bite? Ah, this is great. Oh.
Sorry.
Wow. Oh my God.
Jen has her own PA that feeds
There's no
her.
ketchup on it.
Yeah, did you want ketchup?
No,
You want another bite?
I still like it with ketchup. Can I have a little ketchup? Can you
Yeah.
pour some ketchup in my mouth?
Yeah, sure.
We basically have so
Mm.
this is like gonna be an R. Kelly ketchup behind the scenes shot.
Oh my God, this is so good. Hold on. I like my steak with ketchup. So
Please do
I
not
got,
squirt the ketchup at her face.
yeah, I gotta get some ketchup.
This is not an R. Kelly concert.
This is way cooler than R. Kelly.
Oh God.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
sorry, everybody. This is not part of the show that I planned upon having.
Where's the ketchup? It's coming.
I can't catch up to you. I can't catch up to you.
I'm chewing really slowly so I can save the ketchup. I'm like little kids. Little kids are supposed to be Donald Trump. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, another piece with the ketchup on it? Oh, this is great. Thank you so much.
You just,
All right. Okay, I'm back.
It's fine. You're too much.
A lot of steak in my mouth to show.
Yeah. See, you could tell Jen's a comedian and she's also an actress, and this is like conversations with her, or also she's a prankster apparently.
Yeah. Wait, what? Why?
You and my Batman friend pranked me like, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
haven't done a
basically,
prank in a while, but yeah,
and
we pranked you.
you guys punked me, and it was fun because my friend who had never met Jen before, who had spoken to Jen, had collaborated with surprising me when I was getting together with him to grab like a drinks and with another friend, and we supposedly my friend said, "Can you get my phone? It's like beeping in the background. It sounds like a girl saying beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, somebody's head," and I thought it was somebody
Yeah, I
else.
was
Oh,
hiding in the back seat
you're
under a
hiding in
bunch
the
of
back seat.
clothes, like,
It's
"Beep,
it's sort of like urban legend with the
beep."
killer hiding in the back seat. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, which scares me.
Although without the axe, more with the sixth sense humor, which I actually prefer over an axe. Plus, I have my own ensemble of ketchup on steak. What nationality are you, Jenny? Ketchup on steak.
Russian,
I,
German, Filipino. It's like a little kid thing, like
she's a
ketchup, just
walking schmorg of a walking schmorg of ethnicity, sort of like me.
I mean, I love ketchup on steak. It just makes it better and whatever. I know fancy restaurants don't like it. I don't care. Ketchup on steak, that's the way to do it.
I order stuff at restaurants and fast food places sometimes that the chefs get upset because they don't like the way I order I'm very picky. So like if I want to swap out, the chefs literally like won't do it or get frustrated with me. Literally.
Whatever.
And
This is America. We want ketchup on steak, you get ketchup on steak. You don't want ketchup on steak, you don't get a ketchup on steak.
we
It's
want our
America.
what was it? Battered butter sticks with
Everything's
extra
better with batter butter.
batter.
I love
See, she's
butter.
already improvising. It doesn't get
Mm.
but it doesn't get better than that. Um,
Mm.
well, yeah. What was it? If why do seagulls fly by the sea? Because if they flew by the bay, they'd be bagels. That's a dad joke.
Yeah, I think you
Or
said this in my car. You had a lot
yes,
of
and
puns.
oh
You
yeah,
just how do you have them stored in your head like
I
this?
have 16 years of Facebook whoring. I probably have like different compartments that just randomly open up, sort of like you know how like you forget something, but then somebody triggers and you remember it. Like I have basically a file cabinet that shoots out files
Yeah.
as soon as that trigger, and then like becomes like a whole roller coaster or avalanche of
It's like Jackie
interconnected
the Joke
files.
Man. Like Jackie the Joke Man has all these jokes stored in his head. I riffed with him once for a couple minutes on camera, and it's just like he just got him. He's got him. He's got him. And
Is that a trauma character? It sounds like Kabuki Man.
Jackie the Joke Man. He's on Howard Stern. He was on Howard Stern.
Ah,
Very well known on Long Island, but he's got
Long
jokes and jokes
Island.
and jokes. Yeah.
You got to say it with the Long Island accent.
Long Island.
Long Island.
Yep.
L-A, how do you spell that? L-A-U-W.
LAWNGUYLAND. That's where I'm from, Long Island.
It's one big word, one long word.
One big word, one big island. And you don't have to get off the island. Don't get off the island. So every time I get off the island, I'm like, why? I was
Just
going to
take
go
the
back.
Southern State to the Bell Parkway to the Grand Central, and you're there.
Maybe. No.
No.
No. Don't leave your house. Stay home forever. Stay home. Stop the spread. That's what my husband always says. He goes, "Stay home, stop the spread." He watched the news all day. He's indoctrinated. Stay home, stop the spread. So our sex life went to shit. And I said, I wish they would say, "Stay home, spread your legs." But
does your boyfriend know about your husband, or your husband know about your boyfriend? What was that?
some of them know about each other. This one who feeds me steak, he knows a few things about a few things.
A few things about a few things.
A few things.
Like it's what was it? It's like I study shows 1 in every 3 people cheat in relationships. I'm still stuck wondering if my wife or my girlfriend that's cheating on me. Then my girlfriend called me unfaithful. I said, "Shut up! You sound like my wife."
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah,
I like that one a lot.
yeah. Listen, if you hook up with your ex on Thursday, it's not cheating. It's throwback.
It's a throwback.
It's a throwback. Just don't throw over your back. That's like what's it called? What's the caveman type of thing, right?
Oh, like throwing the woman over your shoulder?
Like a continental boulder, let your ears hang. Oh,
Yeah, I
sorry.
like that. I like a guy who could throw me over his shoulder. It's nice.
Yeah,
Some strength is good.
I had the tallest American model throw me over her shoulder like it was nothing. Her name is Erica Irvin, Amazon Eve from American Horror Story. She's trans, sweetheart. She could lift a 200-pound man easily, so we took a photo together.
Wow.
And she turns to me and says, "Can I pick you up? And I can lift a 200-pound man easily." I'm like, "Sure." So she puts me over her shoulder like it's nothing.
Oh my
And
god.
it looked like she was carrying me back to her place because like you could basically pat my ass the way she was holding me. But it was
You have
so.
pictures of this, right?
Oh, I have pictures. Yes,
Okay.
I have, and I'm sure other people there who were snapping photos away have pictures too.
Now, what movies are you looking forward to seeing?
Oh well, I'm still waiting on your Lake Ronkonkoma film.
Yeah, we're all gonna be waiting on that one. Just you know what?
Let's step back. Jen made shot a movie what 6 7 years ago that and like she's like an FBI agent, so I call her Jen Scully or Scully.
I mean, this movie came out. I was 30. I'm 37. 2016, I was casted.
You don't look a day over 29.
Well, that's good. Actually, I do not look 19 right now at all, but I had a shoot at my house and this model was like, "How old are you?" And I was like, "Guess." He was like 19. I'm like, 19? What 19-year-old owns a house? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It was just very funny.
Influencer. That's
I
a
don't
full.
know. I liked where his head is, but yeah, Lake Ronkonkoma is Thomas Robinson. Love Thomas Robinson. Um, is it gonna come out? Well, it's now not a movie; it's a web series. And I've had many haircuts, and I've been many ethnicities since then, and I've had a few different boyfriends, which I don't really change boyfriends too often. It's usually like a 1 to 3 year stint.
It's usually hairdos.
The 6 month thing doesn't really happen too much. So we've had a lot of boyfriends since this movie. Uh, yeah,
I'm
yeah, you and
just
me.
just schizophrenic, and you're schizophrenic, and so am I. But it
Many
basically along.
cars, many homes, many careers.
But you're involved. You have your hands in a lot of pies. Like
This
I
is
mean,
true.
in terms of you work in a lot of fields and you're successful in a lot of what you do. And sometimes, of course, even stuff you're good in, your struggle. Like sort of like the comedy. I know you always ask me my advice and
Yeah.
But I thought you were funny, though I may not listen. You and I don't necessarily agree with the same politics and stuff.
Mhm.
But just because
Well, I never
I can
voted,
still
so
laugh at.
I mean,
Yeah, well.
I don't really feel too
I'm just
strongly.
kidding. No,
I
I'm
never
saying
voted once.
no, but I'm
Yeah.
saying is like we could disagree and still be friends, and we have
Yeah.
always been that. You know what I mean? Like and that's a problem. A lot of people think disagreement means I can't be your friend, or
Well,
you
when it
know what I
comes to
mean?
politics, unless I know the politician or the people, I really don't have much of a real opinion. But will I
Yeah,
say things that make you laugh? Sure, but much
yeah.
different. It's much different than reality.
It's better to say things that make somebody laugh than say things that hurt somebody for sure.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt anyone's
Yeah.
feelings. The show you
But you like to
saw,
be offensive. You like to be offensive, but you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm just messing with
I'm not offensive. It's just things that make you think, or I don't know. The status quo is not really ever for me. So anytime there's like holidays to me are just like open season to mock it because it's
you. Well,
holidays.
it's
It's just a lot of times that
it's
people
a universal. It's like South Park. You make fun of everybody. It's not just
making
singling
fun of
anybody out.
everyone, but specifically anytime I see anyone or anything just doing something because you're supposed to do it, it's just like, oh, well, it's February 14th. It's Valentine's Day. It's like, why?
Single People's Awareness Day.
Yeah, like, why are we doing this? I'm always asking why. So
Yeah.
anything that where humans are in this automaton state, I'm like, what are we doing here?
It,
Everything is what are we doing here?
it's like when I had so many of the same clothing and I ripped my shirt open like status quo man.
Status quo man?
Status quo man.
You had
Like
that? You have
no,
status quo?
no, no, no. It was just a joke. Like if
Oh,
when I
okay.
have the
Oh,
same attire for like this, like it's like some people who complain about that they're so hot, but they wear black shirts in summer weather.
right.
So like is like status quo man, black shirt under a black shirt. Like
Status quo man.
it's like a superhero that just stays the same. Like Superman rips his shirt open. He has a Superman S. Like
Yeah,
status quo man, he rips his shirt. He has the same shirt under it.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's actually a political cartoon, but I play upon that a little bit.
Hmm.
But yeah. But you also had a movie, and I have a poster from it. This
Oh
night's end
yeah.
that you shot with Tom and
Forgot
Gabe,
about that too.
and
Yeah.
Dwayne said he was also at a cameo in your house. They shot like the morning after scene. I don't know if they shot the party in your house. Did they shoot that party scene?
No, the party scene we shot at Purple Pam's house. Purple Pam's a singer. She makes a hot sauce, a Toxie hot sauce. She had a really cool house. So everything's purple and the lighting's really cool. So the club scene was at her house, and the bathroom call, we turned my bathroom into a club. But we shot like the bedroom and party-ish scenes at my house, like
Uh,
after party, the private party scenes
yeah,
at my house. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
Dwayne
think
was in the party scene.
yeah, and I think I even gave like I said I never mentioned it to Tom. I don't think I had like a editing critique from the scene where you were the after party scene where your character was doing something, and I think your character was supposedly giving the guy
Oh, okay.
yeah, and I think I had an editing comment on like that scene. I think,
Yeah.
and I never brought up to Tom, but I have the movie. I also have you did another short film about what was it?
Oh,
Remember
yeah. Remember Marie.
Marie, and that
Yeah.
was an interesting film. That was more like a short film. That it felt like a professional, like a really like professionally made student film, but in the sense that it was a decent, it was a long short film
Hmm.
that had a real important message, and it was really I liked it. I thought it, and it touched on some real life issues, and that
Hmm.
affects people with with relationship issues, and I thought it was very powerful in a sense. I just want
Well,
to mention. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm
well, like
sorry.
he has his wife. I'm the wife. I'm a tired wife, and he kind of thinks back to the old times. Like, should he have chosen this sweetheart from the past? Would things have been better if he chose someone else? And at the end of the movie, it's not going to spoil it. He realizes everything's great. He's so lucky to have me. And I try to make myself look old and haggard as much as I can. And I generally don't break character too much on set. So like I felt kind of bad because like we're shooting at my house for a day. Was it 1 day or 2 days? I forget. And I'm like really serious playing like a tired mom off in between, and I don't want to treat anyone like a tired mom. I want to be sweet and fun to everyone.
You've played a mom in some short promos too. I've seen you like with the
Yeah,
girl,
you're
like
right.
yeah, I've seen you in a couple of
In a
promos where you played a mom.
commercial, like I was
Yeah,
like a overprotective, like zany mom doing someone's homework. I actually really liked that tutoring commercial. That was pretty
yeah,
cute.
I liked it too.
That was fun. And yeah, and I was a mom in This Night's End. But that mom was easier to play because I'm like a reckless mom. I'm a villain. It's based
Yeah,
on a real life character. The woman is all into drugs, and she might be a sex addict, and she's a swinger, and I like playing the villain. That's like easy for me because it's like kind of funny and over the top. But a real mom that's tired, that has kids, like, oh man, that was hard.
can I tell you something? Some of the greatest actors I've met in terms of like their transformation are the ones who play villains. Because everybody I ever met who played like a killer or a monster or slasher in a movie, they're nothing like their character. They are
Mm.
giant teddy bears,
Hmm.
and the nicest, gentle giants, and the toughest guys when they need to be. But they are the sweetest guys and these are usually it's sort of like when you meet a bouncer who's just a really friendly guy. I met
Hmm.
another one this past weekend. I just wanted my friend Sean asked a question. Just because someone disagrees with you does not mean you can't be friends. That's how I think and live life. Like we said, if they decide to hate me or not be friends, it sucks. But what can you do when they feel that way?
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, I mean it's more of a rhetorical question, but it's true. And can I tell you something? When it comes to also we got to be careful when it comes to work in terms of our beliefs and our point of views, because like yes, in our personal lives everybody will always get into arguments about these things, but like when it comes to work you don't want to burn your bridges, and
Hmm.
so to speak. And you know what, like, and also when meeting these celebrities for so many years, it's all about being civil, being respectful, being humane, being you, but also like being, wanting to listen and interested in them, but also they become interested in you, and you have conversations and you just act civil. You know what I mean? You and I have been to a number of events together, have been to like I've been to I think one of your fashion shows, but I guess you could say
Hmm.
like some of the horror stuff was a fashion show too. But most of the people at these things were from at least from what I saw, like we always have behind the scenes issues with with people in our lives. But yeah, I know you know exactly what I'm because
I mean, one of my lights is broken because it was smashed into my car, so I have to get a new softbox light. Or yeah, that's a behind the
by
scenes issue.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because you decide to drive someone and that person decides to smash all your equipment into your car. What the hell? What kind of behind the scenes BS is that? All right, rant over.
Yeah. Well, it was your back light, the backlight
Yeah,
to your
there was
car.
like some
So that's
softbox and it was like,
that's a behind the scenes. It
yeah,
was
in
okay.
my
It's
back
like
seat. It's like,
oh
oh,
really?
let's fit into the back seat. Let's smash this light down so I can sit here.
It's
What are
better
you
than
doing? Why
it's
are you
better than
smashing my equipment?
it's better than fitting somebody in the trunk.
Yeah, maybe this guy belongs in the trunk, an enclosed trunk with no oxygen for several hours on a trip to New Jersey. That's where this guy
I love
belongs.
your morbidity, Jen. A lot you'll get have junk in the trunk and junk in the trunk. It's a double entendre or yeah, double entendre. Junk in the trunk and junk in your other trunk. Actually, my friend, our Batman friend has one of his cars has a trunk where the trunk is in the front, so we call it a frunk.
Mm. Oh,
A
okay.
frunk because it's a front
A
trunk.
frunk. Well,
A
maybe this
frunk.
guy can go and they take a nice little journey in the frunk for a few hours, and maybe he'll
And
learn his lesson not to smash my equipment.
and when we
How
drive
about that?
uptown, it's uptown frunk.
How about that?
How
Yeah,
about that? The cashier outside. How about that?
uptown frunk.
Uptown frunk. Yeah, we're going back and forth.
Well, little side note is that some of the craziest maniacs, often also bring some of the best skills and talent. I often find in life that you're going to get some of the worst, craziest qualities in people that also bring you some of the most original, best qualities, talent, skills to the table. That's just what I found. If maybe they're an excellent singer or a comedian, they're really good at improv. Well, now you're also going to have to deal with these other strange problems that other people usually don't bring to the table. That's what I found.
I'm looking up a quote, and this is a quote. You said something that sparked something in my mind. When the new Mortal Kombat movie, one of the characters said something. Said all the best artists are little twisted.
Hmm.
And can I tell you something? I met a lot of and I've spoken to or met a lot of people in the industry, and some of the nicest people, with their creativity could be twisted. It doesn't define them. But you
Mhm.
know what? People a lot of creative people, including comedians, come from a lot of dark places. Not only dark places and dark pasts, also a dark past and having dark places in your past are not always the same thing. A lot of people come from a very dark past, but a lot of people grew up with it. A lot of people just have dark elements in their lives that shape them. But like not everybody has like their whole past is morbid and dark. Like Robin Williams was one of those people that like he did have a dark past, but he had a lot of he brought smiles and laughter to so many people. And so like but he obviously I wouldn't say twisted. I mean, in a sense, yes, but there's a lot of darkness and a lot of very enlightening and bright people who bring a lot of light and brightness into this world. One Clive Barker, I think it was Clive Barker, who's a master of horror in literature and cinema, said, "All I ever wanted to do was darken the night and brighten the day, or brighten the day. No, sorry, brighten the night and darken the day and brighten the night, something like that."
Hmm.
And it's true, and because but that's what's unique, and that's a lot of normal people, the boring existence that we call normal, don't see the beauty in darkness. I'm not saying
Mm.
darkness literal, but just like a lot of people who prefer the darkness don't see the enlightening elements in light. Me, I see a lot of light and Sprite, but you see darkness in Sprite. I had to throw that in there. See, Jen is Jen of all the people that have ever convinced me to drink more water. Jen, for health reasons and and for myself, Jen is the first person with actual facts and sophisticated details, got me to start drinking more water.
Wow.
And
Well, I wish it would have worked for my grandma today. She will not drink water. She's like, I'm so thirsty. It's like, well, drink water. That's too hard. All right. She's 96. She's off the hook.
I still make those. Hey, well, she's probably a little twisted too.
But I would say, yeah, I would say I relate to the twisted or seeing points of view. Basically, my mind just goes in any conversation. What's the most inappropriate, weirdest thing that could be said or happen at this moment? And that's where my brain goes. So, in terms of light and dark, I don't know if I would say that I'm a dark persona. Sometimes, sure. But I think to me, my most fun is when I'm in a great mood, things are going well, I have good relationships, and just like my dad, we just see like the most absurd, wacky, weirdest thing that could happen in a situation in a really fun, whimsical way. And I don't know, the whole light and dark. What is light and dark anyway? You got to put a label to that.
It's
But
relative. It's
there's a lot of
relative. It is.
people that think you have to be depressed to be a comedian, or you have to hate yourself, or have a bad sex life, or have your relationships not work out. And to me, if I detect that and someone goes on stage and they start performing, I'm not interested. I really don't. I don't want to hear about how horrible your life is. That's not. It's not uplifting. And I gotta
That's
say,
that's that's an Eminem's. That's more of an Eminem song. That's more of listening to an Eminem song or a Taylor Swift breakup song.
right. I mean, like, okay, I'll give an example. Greg Giraldo, I saw him live. He killed himself, and uh, I was very depressed watching him do stand up. I have friends that said, "Oh, that was so funny," and once I said, "No, it was really depressing. Like, I could feel depression. I could feel something just not happy, and it wasn't really making me giggle." And a year later, the guy killed himself. So I don't know, whatever.
Literally.
Yeah,
Oh
literally,
wow.
literally. I'm a little nervous talking about that because I don't want to
No,
disrespect someone who
no,
can't
no. Of
defend
course, no, no.
themselves
Of course,
and
no.
not
Of
say he
course
wasn't
not.
funny.
Yeah,
But I feel vibes, and I like to see people having fun.
yeah.
And that's my style for comedy and for filmmaking. I like to see people have a good time. And if you're having a good time and you're feeling yourself, I'm feeling it too.
You could, yeah, because you could let your dark past or your dark places influence your skit or your humor, like, but you don't want it to define your humor and
But
your
for some
performance.
audiences, yeah, some people like that, different strokes. But for me, I'm not into it.
Right, no, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that, like, you could have a great show, but, like, okay, like, you could use your dark places to it as a place to come from, to
Yeah.
influence your show, but it doesn't have to be your entire show. It doesn't have to. You don't have to make it so straightforward. Like,
Mhm.
sort of like how I turn my Tourette's, my curses into gifts. I try to
Mhm.
make people laugh. I try to help people because of my pain. But I do dwell on a lot of stuff. Yeah, positive comedy with life experience is a lot better. Yeah, agreed, 100%, Sean.
Well, a way I use dark experience is just like, wow, like today, I've generally felt pretty decent. Most of the day, I really honestly felt very off since like the end of September. I really didn't feel like myself, and I really didn't have enough moments of joy or happiness. So when I felt great today, took a shower. I was like, oh, I felt happiness. I was just looking at my soap bottles, and I was like, oh, I feel happy coming back. And it's like I want to relish those moments. So anytime I have downs, it's just like it makes me really be so much more thankful for the ups. And I have a show on Saturday, and I hope that this good mood continues until Saturday, and I can focus. And wow, I will be like just so ecstatically happy to be feeling good again, because I really felt so crappy for a month.
I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine about that a few hours ago, about, like, appreciating your blessings and not letting the curses or the flaws in your life drown out everything or drown out the good. And
Yeah.
sometimes yes, we do allow that, but
Oh yeah.
we got to remember that's not 20, well, stuff that affect us emotionally and psychologically do stay with us. They do stick with us, but they don't define us. And we allow it. It's we could be our own worst weapon, or our own, or we could be the worst weapon against ourselves, or we could be the greatest strength for ourselves. I'm not sure how I'm wording that, if I'm wording that correctly, but, like, we are the gateway to what gets into our,
Mhm.
what hurts our heart, what mends our heart, what hurts our brain and our mind, our soul, and what mends it, you know. And listen, I'm guilty of allowing a lot of things to hurt me and allowing a lot of things to drown other stuff out. But through pain, I've grown to appreciate a lot of blessings, even in, like and this whole, to be honest, not to get into the pandemic, but this whole COVID thing has gotten me to appreciate my blessings. A lot of the stuff a lot of people went through. I'm not to get into that. I'm just saying, like, sometimes bad situations can bring out the
Oh,
best in
yeah,
people. Not always.
definitely.
Not always. I'm not
Not
saying it's
always,
per
sometimes people
situation.
just get bitter, for sure.
It's not always per situation. Sometimes it's per person. And I've had and there's a great quote: "The cure for the pain is in the pain."
Hmm.
And sometimes it's true, and a lot of times, like, I had to go through pain to grow. And I hate that I had to go through a painful situation to grow, but at least the end result was that I grew from it. It still upsets me that I had to go through an unfortunate situation to grow, but I got to keep reminding myself that the end result was growing from it, that I
An
took.
idea, maybe you make notes on written notes, video notes on what got you through, or what you learned from it,
I've never
what
forgotten.
cured your ailments, and then you can
Yeah.
pass it on to other people, which is what
Yeah.
I did, writing a health guidebook, and still
Yeah.
am. We can take every single BS thing and be like, huh, oh, this was a real downer, but hey, let me share my tips and then we can pass it on to other people. At least then I didn't suffer for years and months, for nothing, right?
And also, we shouldn't guilt ourselves for once in a while letting that pain cut through. Just like, like, I try not to, just like so you sometimes cheat by, I know you're not big on certain foods, but you'll cheat from once in a while.
Oh, I'll cheat all the time.
You'll maybe have pizza, but,
No,
or
I
for
had
one.
I had I had crap yesterday. I had wings. I got wings. I was like, oh, I'm gonna freeze them. I ate them all. I had these hot chocolate things. You're supposed to dissolve them and make hot chocolate out of them. I ate them straight. Like, that's not really edible chocolate. It happens all the
I thought you were a cougar, but you're a cheetah.
time. I'm a cheetah.
You're a cheetah.
Um,
Listen, a lion wouldn't cheat on his wife, but a tiger would.
hmm.
You get, come on, that did not just go over your head. A
It
lion
did.
wouldn't cheat on his wife, but a tiger would. Tiger Woods.
Oh my God.
I
Okay.
know,
But
I
hey,
know.
at least I didn't pretend to get things. That's one
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
I do. I don't pretend
You're
to get jokes
because
when I don't.
you're authentic, and not just, and see that, that's acting. Like it's being authentic, but that
That's the
would be,
worst though. When people are like, oh yeah, yeah. And you're like, you didn't get that.
they're full of carp to keep it G-rated. No, I'm just saying they're
Full
full they're full of
carb.
they're full of shit. Yeah. By the way, carp is healthy, is it not? Or should I not go into start asking you health information now?
I'll discuss, yeah. If it's gonna help someone else, yeah. If it's gonna be interesting.
So carp is good.
I don't know. Fish now is all polluted, but I think I caught a carp over the summer. I got into fishing this summer. I don't know what I'm doing, but I caught a carp. That was
Better
cool.
than catching a crab.
It was
You
it
know.
was super fun. Fishing's fun. I can't wait to go back to
Oh
that.
yeah, I love. Like, a lot of my friends tell me fishing is not a sport because there's no ball involved. You know what?
Right.
Maybe I'll kick him in the balls and tell him, yeah, ball busting's a
Well, if
sport.
you're a guy, there's two balls involved, so it is a sport, right?
Yeah, right,
So
right.
everything can be a sport if you're a guy.
Yeah, listen, I know I actually had a quote I posted today, and I know we're a little over time, but I just want to say
Okay.
this quote, and I think you'll like it. I just posted it, and a lot of people appreciate this one because it's like a smart quote, and then it ends on a joke, but it's true. It takes balls for a nice guy. Sorry, it takes balls for a nice guy who's continually stepped all over to put his foot down. But it also takes balls for an asshole to know when to at least act like a decent human being. Whichever you may be, if you can't make that compromise at the very least for yourself, might as well cut your own balls off. Sometimes I could come up with my own original post, but usually it's philosophical. Sometimes it's punny. Sometimes it's a little bit of both. But
So the takeaway from that is just cut your balls off and live your life.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was
You
coming.
knew that? I
Yes.
think it's great. I wish every guy I was with would do that so then I wouldn't have to worry about pregnancy issues. Or just yeah, I think every guy should just have their balls cut off. I
Well,
think it's a great thing.
I believe Crocs is now the most effective form of birth control. Pulling out condoms and birth control pills are not even 100% effective. I heard Crocs are the #1 best form of birth control.
Nah,
Yeah.
I'd still, if my guy was wearing Crocs, I'd still,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Let's.
still be all right.
Yeah. Well, as long as he's
I don't
not
care
wearing
about
anything.
fashion. It's not
Yeah.
interesting to me. As long as you shower and like take care of your body, like it's all about what's
Hygiene.
inside the clothes. That's what I think. What's inside the clothes? What's underneath?
It's not what's inside the
Doesn't matter.
person. It's what's inside the clothes. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care where a guy lives or what he drives or what he wears. It's all about the person. What's in the brain? What does the body look like?
What's
Show me your
what's
body.
what's in the head? What's both heads? Both
Yeah,
heads.
yeah. I want to know. I want to
Ay,
know.
good
Crocs
balls.
are fine. That's fine. You go with
I
your
should
bad self. You want to
I
wear Crocs? Go ahead.
I should put a disclaimer. This is probably going to be the most unkosher of any of my podcasts.
Really?
No,
No, we
maybe,
were pretty
maybe.
good until the end.
We're pretty good until the end, but like that's the twist ending, not the nipple
Yeah, I was
twist,
trying to
not
keep things
not the purple
PG,
nipples.
PC for you. I really was
No,
trying.
you don't have to keep it PC. Like, I mean, but no, but we did not keep it PC. But I like. Listen, I'd rather it be PC than RC.
Well, if you want to see
Don't let me get
something,
me started on
if you want to
religious
hear
correctness.
Nazi jokes and KKK jokes and
Oh,
see me simulating
I didn't see.
a
I was
hand job with the ex-president, you can come to my show on Saturday. It's going to happen. There's going to be lots of stuff happening on
and
Saturday.
my punchline will be I did not see that coming.
No, I don't. I don't think the audience is going to see a lot of things coming. I'm actually starting to get a little excited.
So if it was a porno, I'd have to see a lot. There's a lot of things going to be coming, but let's not go there. Actually, what's that joke? What's that meme I posted? It's basically why you should never put Christmas lights on a palm tree. They basically call it a la premature ejaculation. Tree mature ejaculation, because it looks like a Christmas lights on a palm tree looks like yeah.
Oh, yes, I've seen
Yeah,
that before.
and
Okay, I was trying to
my
picture
friend's
that.
comment was my friend Dan Yeager commented on that when I first posted it. Thank you for the happy ending this holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're very much over time, and I don't want to hold you up, but I feel like we could talk about so many things,
Well, we could always
and
do another one.
we can always do another
We can
one.
always
But
do another one, pick a few topics that hit and focus on some topics because this was a
yes, because
meandering free for all.
I'm gonna have a lot of people coming up, but like I definitely, but like I definitely want to do another show with you. Maybe you'll have me on one of your shows because I know you wanted to
Yeah.
have me playing piano on one of your shows one of
Yeah, I
these
wanted you
days.
to play piano. I thought that
Yeah,
would be a cool thing to do
yeah.
because you're so
Maybe
good at the piano, Mr.
thanks.
Gabe.
Yeah, I want to learn violin, but every time I try to play, somebody put a dollar bill in the G string. I felt so violated. Yeah,
My dad
and
could teach you violin.
I told one of my model actress friends a piano pickup line that I didn't actually use. You know, I used it as jokingly, but she sort of like laughed and blushed and giggled, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say it here because it's really not kosher, and I would
Okay.
not actually use it. But I
I don't
will
keep
say,
kosher.
I know, I will say one unkosher Jewish pickup. No, not Jewish pickup line. It's one very unkosher pickup line, and it's probably, but it's very funny, and it's
Mhm,
real. Nobody would actually use it and be expect to be taken seriously
mhm.
because it's not a pickup line anybody would use, but they joke about it. And I just gave that whole setup for it. So let me just say it.
Do it.
How do you like your eggs for breakfast? Eggs for breakfast, hard boiled or impregnated?
Hard boiled and impregnated.
Hard boiled or impregnated? Or I think somebody says or
Am I supposed to
fertile.
answer?
No. It's just I wasn't actually using it. I was just saying that's a pickup line that nobody would actually use, but it's
Oh.
really freaking funny. But then there's the Jewish pickup lines. I have two kosher ones and two sacrilegious ones, which I don't think anybody should ever use because the rabbi, regardless of his religious views, would probably kill you. You know, because it's so sacrilegious and blasphemous that I would never suggest using it. But I'll tell you that another time. I'm not going to use it on you.
A rabbi would kill you. Now that's a trauma movie I'd
Wha-
watch.
Oh my
The
God,
Killer
light should hear that.
Rabbi.
The killer. Well, actually, they did that. A Hanukkah horror movie about a Hanukkah killer. And Sid
Oh, they
Haig,
did that?
yeah, the late Sid Haig played. Basically, he was interrupted when God. He claimed God told. He claimed that God told him to kill his eldest son on Hanukkah.
Okay.
And Caroline Williams from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 was in it.
But he wasn't a
She
rabbi,
played the
right?
Rebbetzin. No, he played a rabbi. Yeah, portrayed a rabbi. It was
Oh,
his
okay.
last film before he passed.
Yeah, I
And
could see that
basically,
being fun.
the caption was a horrifying tale of horror, the festival of frights, and basically the killer signature was the scar of David. And basically,
Okay.
one of the actresses I know, Sadie Katz, and her co-star said, like, why aren't there more Jewish horror movies like Last Synagogue on the Left or Gefilte Flesh? And I'm like,
Mm.
Gefilte Flesh, yeah, that could also be a Jewish porno. Like, I wanted to make a Jewish porno, not 10% sex, 90% guilt, but they had to water it down, so they I don't think they did that, but no, actually that was watered down. But I heard they did one called Debbie Does Dishes, not
My
Debbie Does
Jewish
Down.
horror movie is just my daily schedule. It's just like, everything's scary.
Like when I mentioned horror, like it's like the horror, everybody dance the horror. Actually, I got that from Rugrats. Yeah, and I
From
just
Rugrats. That's funny. This is
I
the
ran
second time Rugrats has been mentioned in the last hour and a half.
I randomly quote the most random shit from time to time.
Yeah,
Horror
it's great.
movies, comedies, it's children's stuff that I grew up on. Actually, it's funny. One of the most controversial children's films I grew up on. Actually, one of the Saw actors told me, like on Facebook when he used to have a Facebook, like a public Facebook. It was called The Last Unicorn, and I didn't realize as a kid Jeff Bridges and Alan Arkin voiced some of the characters,
Mhm.
and I didn't realize when you watch as an adult, like this is really not appropriate. It's like a Disney movie. It's really not appropriate for kids. And one of the Saw actors actually had the same favorite movie growing up. But you watch movies as an adult, are like this was not a kosher for kids, not okay for kids. Anyway, I know we're over time. I want to touch base with you because I want to find out about more of your future shows. But Jenny, repeat your pages.
Just type in Jenny Feldy.
Jenny Feldy on
Keep it simple.
Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook,
Yeah,
and she's got a lot of great stuff she posts. She works with a lot of people. She's a really phenomenal makeup artist
thank
and
you.
model and actress and comedian. Though I
Getting
know,
better at all the above,
yes.
In like
Well,
40 years, I'll be like, I'm really good at this, but you got to give me like 40 years.
listen, we never grow out of growing up. Just like we can never be too talented. We can never there's always more to learn and always more to get better at and improve at.
Always more to learn. So I don't know how anyone could really call themselves an expert because there's so much to learn. The more you
Well,
know, the more you know you don't know.
listen, I know a couple of porn models. I'm sure they're sexperts.
Mhm.
That's an original me line that I just put. I'm not saying I first came up with it, but I'm saying I just came up with it on the
Well,
spot.
I'm definitely
So
not a
don't
sexpert.
copyright
I
me.
don't know what I'm doing.
Sexpert, yeah. Well, I'm a Facebook
But I'm a
whore.
good cook. That's why the men stick around. I'm a great
Well,
cook.
I hope the
So
pants don't stick around.
the
I mean the pants
pans.
don't stick.
Oh, you lost
They
me
don't
on that.
stick. No,
I'm
the
like,
pans don't
what?
stick because you want the non-stick pans if you're gonna cook well, because that shit gets all messy. I sound like the Jewish mother. Sometimes I open my mouth and my mother comes out.
You open your mouth. You must have a really big mouth if you could fit your whole mother inside of that thing.
Sometimes if I run my feet as much as I run my mouth, I'd be even skinnier.
No. Well, then you're not allowed to. Just stop
Yeah,
running everything.
yeah. Well, I'll run my mouth, not my feet.
Now
But
do the next podcast with your feet.
with oh god, I'll play piano with my feet. Anyway, we're way over time, but
All right.
I had too much fun with you, Jenny. I'm sure your boyfriends have even more. Oh, I should. I think that was a little over the. I'm just kidding.
What's that?
No, nothing. I said I assume your boyfriends have probably more fun, but I'm not going to go there. What was
That'll
that?
be having more fun.
See,
If this is all the fun my boyfriends have, then God bless them.
Yeah, okay. Should I take this as an insult or a compliment? I'm just
I don't
kidding.
know. You decide. Art is a question mark,
Life's a
not an
twitch.
explanation. You figure it out, honey.
Hey, you can't spell heart without art, right?
True.
Art without art. What was it? Heart without art is just no. Earth without art is just air. But there is an
Yeah.
art. There is an art in heart, and heart is a big part of life. Sorry, art is a big part of life. Without your heart, you can't live. But like, I think we all need art. We all appreciate some form of art in our heart.
Oh, yeah.
And
All
I'm sure.
different. We all have different tastes for sure. My taste is
Yeah.
nothing like my grandma Lucille's. Nothing at all. We're very different. But
Yeah. So sure, like some people say their gag reflex is not the same as their grandmother's either. But I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding.
I don't know. She had two very successful husbands, so I wonder. I wonder. That's it. We'll leave off on that. What's my grandma's gag reflex like? Because she had two very powerful, I mean, one husband made the mining laws. I
I'm
mean,
giving
it's
you
kind of
material.
legendary.
I'm giving you take notes. I'm giving you material for your comedy
So
show, by the way.
maybe it was good. You ask some poignant questions, Gabe.
Well,
We'll
it's
leave
funny.
off with that.
I heard a porn model in an interview talk about that and like talking about how her grandmother was like giving all criticisms on her porno that she watched. I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, so like that, I give that grandmother, that old woman, a lot of nachas. In Judaism, it
Wow.
means like
Wow. That's no.
you need a sick grandmother for that one.
I can't do that with my
Yeah.
parents. That's
No, I
not.
know,
That's where I
I know.
draw the line. Even
But
I have lines.
take notes. Yes, I know, but take notes on this. But because I want you, because some of the stuff you could like the stuff that we spoke about here, I want
Mm-hmm.
you can use for your comedy show because it was, I don't know. Talk about your grandmother's gag reflex for a comedy
Yeah,
show.
yeah. I'll add that to the repertoire on Saturday. The entire audience will be fully disgusted.
Hey, listen, Lewis Black. I just want to mention Lewis Black, who's one of my favorite comedians, and he goes through a lot of dark places, but
Mm-hmm.
he's always funny. He makes everybody laugh, and he makes jokes about his parents who are like in their 80s or 90s, and they're sitting in the audience,
Mm.
like, and not always kosher jokes.
Right,
And he's
right.
Jewish. So anyway, let you go, Jen. It was a pleasure having you on my show. I can't
Love you,
wait to be
Gabe.
on
Thanks for
yours.
having me.
Love me too sometimes, but I love you too.
Eat some healthy stuff. Get off the Sprite.
I
Get off
will.
the Sprite. Get off the Sprite.
And I'll get off. But remember, to get off is good. To get laid is good. To get laid off is bad.
Oh, okay. And on
Oh,
that note, we'll see you
my
later.
goodness. See you later.
Bye.
Sayonara.